I'm just telling you, when you have a Chubb and then a young Woody shows up, the Chubb goes down. It is what it is. Everyone knows that.
You were teeing something up just to keep it rolling. Our next player, Rachaad White.
Move on to Rachaad White.
By the way, Woody marks 69% available. I don't want to leave that out.
Yeah, it's 69%.
You love it? Unbelievable. You really can't make it up at this point.
You know what? God bless you, Peacock, for continuing to air us.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. Hello out there, all the regulars. We are still live on YouTube. Connor Rogers, Matthew Berry, Jay Croucher from Wall Street.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't know. It's my Wednesday, Thursday get up.
You're one of the most perplexing humans I've ever met in terms of dress. Sometimes you roll in and it looks like a Sunday morning.
I know.
And then other times you look like you literally could be down at Wall Street.
Well, I am technically a lawyer. Not a good one.
I forget that a lot.
I do too.
That's remarkable.
Definitely.
One of the world's worst lawyers.
Factually correct.
On the Supreme Court
Factually correct. I can break this down for you very easily.
Please.
Connor. Is that in an outfit like today, what Jay's wearing, he has been dressed. He's been dressed by the fantastic and not paid nearly enough NBC Sports wardrobe department.
Heavy lifting from the wardrobe department.
Dude, you have no idea. Whatever they're paid, it is not enough for them to make Jay look good, for them to make me look good. So when he looks like this, even what banker or lawyer or whatever, these are nice clothes. He does not own clothes like these.
No, I don't.
No.
It's a costume.
I barely have any clothes.
It's a work costume.
I mean, please. He was in a New York Liberty jersey at your wedding. So it's like,
I forgot about that.
Right. When he is left to his own devices. When he's left to his own devices, then it's very easy. Then it's like whatever was on discount, at whatever shopping center he was at with his daughter. Yeah.
He was at Modell's.
Exactly. Whatever's in the used bin.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I have a real question. So the reason I'm wearing this is we're doing a commercial later. Are you actually going to have socks on for the commercial? What's going on?
No,
I say you shouldn't. Lean into it.
I'm leaning into it.
And ask for the full shot. Make sure they don't crop that.
I'm not sure if America knows about the bit.
They don't know about the bit.
But
that's the problem.
These are the socks that were hanging in. But
YouTube Live, Channel 4.
Yeah.
Big difference.
No, but the way the commercials are shot, it's Jay and I standing next to each other in front of a DraftKings logo, and I stand up, and so you can't pan back. You can't really tell that I'm not wearing socks when I'm standing up. When I'm sitting here telling the crown's yours. We got a great game. Sunday Night Football.
Oh boy.
You should bet on it. Anyway, when I'm doing that.
It's true. The problem is that I'm going to be half of the commercial. I'm going to be reading it out with the knowledge that your ankles are not properly covered. And I'm not sure my exterior is going to be able to hide that truth. Anyway, we'll see how we go.
I'll just tell you this much, Connor. I'm going to say this to you directly.
Okay.
Late night in Dallas. He didn't care that my ankles were uncovered.
That's right. Now on camera.
Now on camera, suddenly he's uncomfortable with my nakedness.
Very interesting.
But
it's all about perception.
I'll just say, in the dark confines of a hotel in Dallas,
Texas.
He had no issue.
Had
no issue with my skin being shown.
The chat is on fire already. Javi Ramirez said, "Bury the closer, getting deals done."
That's right.
Yeah, you're now getting credit for YouTube being alive and well. That's partially my fault.
I called Mr. Tube.
Raise the Flag says, Jay looks like Keanu Reeves in Constantine.
Oh, that's a great comment.
I knew you'd love that, Jay. I want to get your morale back up.
Yeah.
Give you a little
Constantine, by the way,
boost.
one of the worst movies ever made. It's a very, very bad piece of cinema.
Never seen it.
Constantine?
Yeah,
I've never seen that. What is the premise of that?
John Constantine, he's like a demon hunter sent from the netherworld. Keanu Reeves is just killing bodies. It's not good. It's basically they fixed it and they made it into John Wick. John Wick is actually good.
Keanu Reeves killing people should work.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Right.
They really screwed this one up.
Right. It's supposed to be like a given.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a backup producer Pete Dave. You all know that by now. So it's very obvious the TV's been rolled in for a class movie. We got
He's kicked his feet up.
Yeah, Pete is nowhere to be found. I lost him on comms. It's usually they count me in on a 5 or 10 second count to show so I can give a big hello and he goes, "Connor, go ahead." That's it. Connor, go ahead. I'm like, okay, here we go. Keep it open or close it out. We got all the answers to your start-sit problems. Blind Date is back, the new hit show sweeping the nation, which Jay did very well on last week.
He really did.
Back to the Futures. where we give our futures bets looking into the crystal ball, and we will be taking comments because we are still on YouTube. Great to see the regulars. Let's jump right into the Rotoworld Player news, though, first, because we do have some stuff to sort through here. Bucky Irving, kind of the hot topic to start the week. He is gathering medical opinions on a foot/ankle injury here, Matthew. This one's kind of cloudy right now.
Yeah.
We're not really Todd Bowles did say he didn't feel great about this, but that's all we're working off of right now.
He's in a walking boot. He's on crutches. This is Bucky Irving now. Adam Schefter reporting that the Buccaneers don't fear a serious injury. They consider it more, or a long-term injury, I should say. The phrasing Adam used, I think, was the Buccaneers don't consider it a long-term injury, more of a week-to-week situation. Still, when you're in a walking boot and you're on crutches, not great. Not great. And so I think obviously what this means is Rachaad White, who's still available in about half the leagues out there, and Sean Tucker, who I love, the pride of Syracuse. He's available in 95% of leagues. I think Rachaad White is, kind of a low-end RB2 this week. Tucker's going to be more of a flex. We haven't updated the rankings just yet. They're on the road at Seattle, obviously. It's not a great matchup, but we like this Buccaneers offense overall. And I think Tucker's the better running back of the two of them, just from a pure eye test. I know, talking with sources inside the Tampa Bay organization, they love Sean Tucker. Love Sean Tucker. But I think first game without Bucky Irving, Rachaad White will have a role. He's more of the veteran player, but Tucker's getting an opportunity. And last year, when he got an opportunity, Connor, he popped.
Right. He is a really, really good runner. The thing is with White, it feels like they default back to the trust factor with him in pass protection. So maybe it's more of a split than you'd expect here, Jay. But the bottom line is, there's a lot of people that need some kind of solution, need to know, can I just pick up Rachaad White and play him where I play Bucky, or do you kind of look elsewhere?
Yeah, big year for Tuckers, by the way, between Trey and Kraft, and now Sean potentially getting on the radar. Look, I'm going to read between the lines, just apply logic, because logic helps out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Logic could have told you that Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs, they were never going to miss 6 weeks because they would have gone on IR. Bucky Irving's on crutches. He's just not going to play this weekend. I'm sorry. It's extremely unlikely that he's going to play. So I think this is it's a fairly understandable situation where Rachaad White is going to get the Bucky Irving type of role, and then Sean Tucker will get more like Rachaad White usage. It's like Trey Benson. It's like the face-off thing again, where Rachaad White is Bucky Irving. A
little bit, though, but White is, I think that I actually would reverse that. Again, I think White probably gets more work because of the trust factor, but I actually think Rachaad White stays in his role, just expands, and that Sean Tucker is actually the Bucky Irving, if you will, just because of how their skill sets. You know what I mean? Just like I don't think they trust Tucker as much on third down and pass pro that they do White. So I actually think White stays in the same role he is, just more expanded, and Tucker gets some of the Bucky Irving plays. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I would guess that the carries are going to be like 50-50, and then Rachaad White gets the receiving.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Jay, we had a comment from you from Wake BRD 007. Why isn't Jay's fantasy team called the Crouch Potato?
I don't like that. It's a lot of hanging through. Why be the crouch potato when you can be the chubby leather daddies?
That's fair.
If you've got to choose between, you're choosing the leather daddies.
By the way, if I lose one more game, and I think I'm gonna, I'll be the crotch potatoes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's 1,000%.
Yeah, you take things.
My team is not good. We are taking on water.
One more bit of news. Dillon Gabriel will start for the Browns this week. Joe Flacco has been benched. He will remain the number 2 quarterback. I know every show out there is going to turn this into a Shedeur Sanders conversation. We're not, because he's still QB3.
Yep.
But Dillon Gabriel will start. Before we get to Dillon Gabriel, comeback player of the year Joe Flacco does string for free. This actually might be it.
It might be it for Joe Flacco. But
no,
you know what's amazing? I'll just tell you something to think about here. So comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco, who everyone has written off for dead many, many times. Now with Dillon Gabriel taking off the role, you know what this means? That when Joe Flacco comes back in 5 or 6 weeks and leads the Browns to a playoff charge, he once again could be comeback player of the year, Jay Croucher.
You know,
this is an opportunity now for him to once again rise from the ashes like a bold phoenix.
Okay. I can't talk anymore about Joe Flacco, but one thing that's funny about that award, so Joe Burrow won in 2021, and then it was Geno, and then it was Flacco, and then it was Joe Burrow again, and then this year it'll be someone else, and then next year it's going to be Joe Burrow again.
That's right.
One comeback player of the year, 3 years out of 6. It's a ridiculous thing. I want to see how long it can go. Let's see if Joe Burrow can win 7 comeback players of the year.
I think you should be able to win once. Right? Like, what is it?
Once you're back, how many times can you come back, win, and then fall down, and then come back again?
The third time. you don't feel as good about
Joe Burrow can tie his shoes next year. He's better than everyone else. He'll just win the award again. It's unbelievable.
It is the most it's unfortunately the most flawed award. As you learn the hard way.
And there's gone to J.K. Dobbins last year or Tim Patrick or something.
But that's why it's flawed. It doesn't go the way it should.
Yeah. Or DeMar Hamlin. Like, I mean, DeMar Hamlin should have won, multiple years. What about Ricky Pearsall? Why can't Ricky Pearsall win?
Well, he should.
I mean, or Brian Robinson. Like,
they were both shot.
They got shot.
Yes.
Right? And now they're playing football.
Yeah. Instead, it's going to go to Trevor Lawrence going 10-7 and suck. It's terrible.
No, it's great. This year will probably be Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, or Hutchinson, or Dak.
Dak. Actually, Dak.
Well, Dak's team's going to go 6-10
That's the problem.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah,
I look forward to losing money on the right candidate.
Yeah,
Who loses?
You'll pick Joe Burrow next year, and it'll be CeeDee Lamb.
Exactly. Yeah. Great.
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Loaded field next year.
What? Loaded field.
Not a good
Loaded
sign.
field. Either way, Dillon Gabriel is going to start Week 5 against Minnesota. I think he's a low-end QB2, high-end QB3 kind of thing. We sort of like this. We sort of like the Browns' offense. Like, I do think they're going to throw a decent amount. They've got a good running game in Judkins, and Gabriel can, live in play action here as well. No club said this week, but bigger role for Isaiah Bond. We like Fannin and Njoku. Of course, Judy is always a constant there. I don't know that we're particularly scared about the Minnesota Vikings defense coming home. They're coming home from Dublin. They couldn't stop the Steelers. They couldn't stop, 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So, again, I'd want to see it before Gabriel, but it's probably worth a pickup in a Superflex 2-quarterback league.
Tanish, Joshy, good or bad for Judkins that Dillon Gabriel starts? Judkins is running into loaded boxes right now with Joe Flacco, so I think the arrow only points up, but I wouldn't expect that right away. It feels almost like a neutral situation.
I will say one thing with Flacco is that I think Stefanski in 2023 and this year, he seemed very eager to throw on early downs because he knew that if Joe Flacco was going to be in 3rd and 8, that it was going to be just they were going to tee off on him and he can't move. So I do think that Joe Flacco would have games where he's throwing 45 times. Dillon Gabriel's not going to throw 45 times. So I think it might be a bit better for Judkins.
For people that are unfamiliar, I know we've talked about it, but Dillon Gabriel was a guy that you sort of had drafted when you were doing your pre-draft rankings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you had Dillon Gabriel as a day 3 guy, but more as this guy's a career backup.
Yeah, right. Like how we talk about Jake Browning in a sense, right? This is someone that with Gabriel, he can operate really well in quick game. If you watch the Oregon offense, Bo Nix came out of that offense. He operated at a high level because he plays fast. He can get the ball out fast. He's very accurate. He's a smaller player, doesn't have a big arm. He's not an elite athlete. He's going to move better than Flacco, of course, but there's just going to be limitations of how they attack all 3 levels of the field. So I think you'll see a very safe, cheapy completions kind of offense, honestly, with Dillon Gabriel. I don't think he's someone that's going to make the spectacular plays, but with the way their defense is playing, I think they just need somebody that prioritizes ball security, and that's really exactly what Gabriel's good at.
Just move the chains,
he
right?
Just
first
he's
down,
not
move
reckless.
the chains, right?
Yeah, very short completions. He operates quickly, but he's not going to take a lot of chances. But this is an offense where, who do you look at and go, well, I need that guy to get those 50-50 balls. It's just not built that way.
Well, right. And by the way, if you're Kevin Stefanski, just taking this into an NFL conversation for a second, I've got an elite defense. I've actually got a pretty good run game right now. If Dillon Gabriel can just move the chains, if 2nd and 5, he can complete a 6-yard out, and I can just control the clock, ball control, and play good defense, I can win a lot of 17 to 14 games kind of thing. Whatever, 20 to 17 games. Just I'm going to grind it out and just be, win ugly football, which, makes sense if you're Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year, by the way. Not a lot of people know that, but he actually won twice.
Warranted.
Warranted, by the way.
Unlike his former quarterback.
Yeah, he won with Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Right. It feels like,
The Cleveland Browns that year won 4 of the 8 NFL awards. They were at 11 and 6 wild card. I still haven't gotten over that one. I don't care for that.
Yeah, when you clean up, you clean up.
And they lost by 50 points to the Texans in the playoffs. Anyway.
Was that
good question in here from Spliff McGriff. Is this good for Fannin? I think it's good for both the tight ends.
Yeah.
Terrence Ferguson, who the Rams took with a top 75 pick last year, he was Gabriel's tight end at Oregon. That offense loved to utilize the tight end. So does Gabriel. Once again, you're looking for short area completions. Both Njoku and Fannin, I think, get a bump. I know this is weird to say.
And no Cedric Tillman, so there's more targets to be around. Isaiah Bond, we'll see. But
right. Bond wins down the field, though, and I don't know how much they're going to attack down the field. I guess we'll see. But I think it helps the tight ends. I would say it doesn't really give anything to the wide receivers, and TBD on how it helps Judkins. But it can only get better.
Was Jerry Jeudy just like a 6-week mirage last year?
It kind of feels like that was lightning in a bottle. Because look at his whole career, and then 6 weeks.
Thank you. He was bad all throughout Denver. Denver couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Yeah.
This is a guy who, like, Alabama, right? Like, he was a superstar at Alabama.
He was supposed to be a really, really big-time player.
He was supposed to be, like, right, and he just hasn't been great in the pros. Right, he had a 6-week stretch where Jameis only looked at him, and they were in game script, they were in throwing script, like, the entire game.
And he torched Riley Moss's backup in Denver that one game on Monday Night
Football. He's never, throughout his career, ever been a big touchdown scorer.
Yep.
So,
keep it open or close it out time, and we are going to start with the quarterback, and that's Daniel Jones, who has back-to-back games with under 16 fantasy points. But Matthew, he's got the Raiders, who a lot of quarterbacks have benefited from playing against.
For sure. By the way, they're also in the friendly confines of Lucas Oil Stadium. And when Daniel Jones has been home this year, he's been pretty good. He's averaging over 26 fantasy points per game versus just 13 on the road. So he's good in the dome. He's good at home. Raiders are 23rd in pass defense this year. They have struggled. They've made a lot of, mediocre quarterbacks look very good. According to Vegas and our friends at DraftKings, Colts have the third highest implied team total in week number 5. Yeah, I'm keeping it open on Daniel Jones, believe it or not. I have him as a top 9 play this week, as you see right there on your screen. 4 teams on a bye. As you know, no Caleb Williams this week, no Jordan Love this week, but yeah, give me some DJ. Give me some Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I think
some Indiana Jones.
Yes, I think it looks a lot different if Adonai Mitchell doesn't fumble into the end zone. That his stat line and the result as well probably changes, and we're talking about Daniel Jones in a bit of a different light. I don't think Connor, like, the deep ball still looks a little bit iffy. Looked better the first 3 weeks.
With no Alec Pierce.
Yes. Exactly.
I think there's a correlation there. I think Alec Pierce is the guy in this offense that wins down the field.
Yep, Alec Pierce is practicing today too, so
good sign
that he's probably going to come back. It's a little bit of a concern. He's had like 3 conctions, but are you sitting on a joke, Matthew? What are you
I can always tell when one's marinating.
Yeah.
No, you have like an evil grin.
Marinating, but just ironic story. I was up late last night doing a bunch of work, and so I did all my waivers just lying in bed at 1 a.m., whatever. And so I'm up at 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, let me see who I ended up getting. And I'm looking at our league. I'm like, oh, Alec Pierce didn't pick in our league. And so I hit click on Alec Pierce. And I'm going to drop Darnell Mooney. I'm sitting there thinking, Darnell Mooney's, he's on a bye and he's hurt. He hadn't been good, but Darnell Mooney, Alec Pierce, which one do I want, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm like, no, screw it. I'm gonna pick up Alec Pierce. And I do it, and not available. And then all of a sudden I'm like, he was just there. And I go, and literally at 7 a.m., the exact same time, he's now a chubby leather daddy.
Yes.
It's 7:01.
Come on down, Alex.
So there you go.
Here's the thing. I don't like when my lifelong fandom gets in the way of my objective fantasy playing, but I'm a lifelong Colts fan. So I want Alec Pierce. I want him on the bench for morale.
You able to roster a team against me this week? I actually put in a claim for Pierce, but the guys I wanted above him, I got.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations.
So,
yeah,
this is my Super Bowl.
You paid $1 million from Malik Washington.
And it'll be worth every penny if I win.
You're going to win. My team is...
Here we go.
They're injured and they're terrible.
Yeah.
Every player on my team is one of 2 things. They're either injured, Mike Evans, Darnell Mooney, Jayden Daniels, Xavier Worthy for the first month of the season, or they're terrible.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, Chase Brown.
You need a new GM.
Yeah.
I'd fire the front office.
I wish I could. Believe me.
Why'd you draft the bad players?
I don't. I drafted the injured players.
I tried to tell you Henry was washed.
You did.
He actually
I should have drafted
wrote
Keaton
off
Mitchell.
He's the only man that wrote off the Ravens, and he looks right.
Yeah, exactly right.
They got to get Keaton Mitchell involved ASAP.
It's very. I would like. Here's my goal for you and I play each other this week, and here's my goal. I have one goal. I would just like all the players that I start to finish the game, because it's been 4 weeks and I have yet to actually have a player have a week where a player didn't leave a game early due to injury.
Yeah, it's the NFL. It's a tough game. You get hurt. Tough luck.
Chad is just killing you.
I'm sure they
are killing you.
Matthew Berry, one of the great crybabies of our generation.
What's crying? I'm being honest.
Raise the flags. Do you think Joe Flacco complains as much as Berry when his team loses?
My team sucks. What do you want from me?
Make some trades. Do something about it.
Wait. Raise the flags. What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to defend my team? Am I supposed to lie about the belief?
It's not my fault. It's them.
Yeah. Get back in the lab. Craft some trades.
What am I saying? I didn't draft them? Obviously, I drafted them.
Oh man.
But yes, 3 things have happened. 3 things have happened. Number 1, I am number 1 in points against. I'm the only player in the team. I'm the only player in the league that has over 500 points scored against. Okay. I'm number 1 in points scored against. Number 2 is I have had a decent amount of injuries. But number 3 is I've drafted some crappy players, and that's on me. Chase Brown sucks. Derrick Henry sucks. Like, it's been brutal. Darnell Mooney has sucked when he's been out there.
I do have one more comment from Louis Garcia.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I have a 2-year-old. I listened to this to not hear crying.
Yeah, too bad.
Anyways.
Louis Garcia, now I'm going to whine more. Yeah. Now I'm going to whine more.
Daniel Jones isn't open, by the way, if you got anything from that. Our next player is Derrick Henry.
I said Daniel Jones, I'm keeping it open.
Yeah, you did. Ravens running back Derrick Henry versus the Texans. Yes, he is on keep it open or close it out. What's up?
I just want to say this to the 2 of you and to the regulars. No one else listen. But just to the regulars and to the 2 of you. That whining would not have happened if Pete were a better producer. he would have shut that down.
Bus rolled over producer Pete. Bingo card hits.
Would never. Producer Steven would have said, "Move on. Let's go. Stop it. No one cares." Yeah. But
Pete's been begging us to move on for 10 minutes.
But producer Pete has got his feet on the desk. He's flipping through a book.
Yeah. Playing
just
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Derrick Henry, 3 straight games with 50 or fewer rushing yards, which is absolutely insane, Jay. Does he get back on track against the Texans?
It's been brutal.
Yeah, I called this a month ago. Is Derrick Henry still the king? No, he's not. He doesn't even get into the palace. He's had his palace badge removed. Look, he's playing the Texans, which is a difficult matchup. They have a very good defense, and he has Cooper Rush as his quarterback, not dragging him out of the box like Lamar Jackson. At the same time, what else are the Ravens going to do, Matthew, outside of hand the ball off to Derrick Henry 20 times?
Yeah, and that's the reason I'm keeping it open. Look, I am at running back 19, which is fairly low, especially considering we've got four teams on a bye. No Bijan this week, no Josh Jacobs, no DeAndre Swift, no Jalen Warner, Kenneth Gainwell, now no Bucky Irving. So I can't imagine benching Derrick Henry. So I'm keeping it open. I'm hoping for the best. If there's some positives here, it is the fact that, yes, with Cooper Rush under center, I expect they go run heavy here. The Texans are a 1.5-point favorite. So it's not like they're going to get blown out in negative game script. I don't know that we expect the Texans to sort of light up Baltimore. And the Texans, yes, they have a good run defense, but they have given up a running back rushing touchdown in 3 out of 4 games this year. They've given up double-digit fantasy points to a running back in every single game this year. And so Henry, who should get a heavier workload with Cooper Rush under center, I think he grinds his way to an inefficient top 20 finish this week. I'm keeping it open begrudgingly, hopingly, just trying to make it respectable against you.
22 for 89 and then a touchdown?
Yeah, that kind of game. Exactly. It'll be ugly. He'll average 3 yards a carry, but they give him a ton of work. And so top 20 finish, and maybe I stay within, 25 points of Connor. That's all I'm hoping this week.
Stop it. Another running back on our list.
He's going to kill me.
I have 4 players on the bye, including my quarterback.
Yeah, I same, by the way.
Wow.
I buys and I have injury. And the players that I'm left with are crappy.
Yeah.
So
I should win.
Yes.
Yeah. From baby oil berry to crybaby berry.
Yep. Cardinals running back Trey Benson next on our list. Fair. Matthew, the volume was good as much as the results.
I'm not crybaby berry until after the season. I'm still champ.
Yes.
I'm still champ, damn it.
Holding on.
Yeah. Like me with my hair.
You're literally in a cardboard box holding on to your Burger King crown.
Yeah, exactly. With me like a hair. I'm hanging on for dear life. I still got a little bit. It's like I won't go full bald. I'm balding. That's what I'm the same with the champ. I'm hanging on for dear life to past glory.
Goodness.
Are you still starting Trey Benson? Because the volume was good, but maybe not the results people were hoping for.
An injury flag as well with Trey Benson.
Yeah, a little bit. There is a concern there. He sort of popped up with something towards the end of the game. Amari DiMaccardo might get a bigger workload. If you have Benson, might be worth going out and seeing DiMaccardo is still out there. He wasn't a huge pickup because the news came out late. But yeah, Benson dealing with a little bit of an injury. But if Benson does play this week, I am in fact keeping it open. He's my running back 16. Look, the workload's pretty big. 73% of the team's running back rushes last week, 12.5% target share. And this Titans defense, pretty favorable. 4th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. In their 4 games, Jay, they've given up 7 touchdowns to opposing running backs. 7 in 4 games. I like Benson's odds of getting into the end zone, assuming he plays here.
Yep, Cardinals 8-point favorites. That's really the only thing that matters here. He's an RB1 for a team that's favored by over a touchdown.
Yeah,
but
keeping it open.
We'll keep an eye on his status throughout the week because he is in question with a knee injury, although it doesn't seem overly serious at the moment. Yeah. We'll see. Another running back, the results have just not been pretty, Matthew. Isiah Pacheco. He's got Jacksonville. Season high 12.8 fantasy points in week 4, so finally some signs of life. But it's been a split backfield as well as not as a good one.
Yeah, a split one that's been bad. Pacheco has been so bad, I'm surprised he's not on my team, to be perfectly honest. One of the few bad players I managed to avoid. Yeah, I probably should trade for him. Look, I'm closing it out. He's running back 34 for me. 0 goal line rush attempts. Not involved in the passing game. Under 7% target share. Last week, played 37% of the snaps. That was a season low. Had a 22% rush share, also a season low. And don't look now, boys, but the Jacksonville Jaguars. Producer Stevens, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Swaguars.
Yes.
Actually have a good defense.
Yeah, Saxonville is back.
Yes.
Yeah, the new Steel Curtain operates in Florida. It is strange. I was expecting greater show on turf stuff.
Yeah,
Lawrence
me too.
airing it out to catch up with a bad defense. Instead, the offense is terrible. Pass game is terrible. But the defense is carrying this team at the moment. And yeah, it's not a favorable matchup until further notice. And it does make sense. Like, they have talented players on that defense.
The front's loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, Trayvon Walker has really developed nicely. Obviously, Josh Hines-Allen is a stud. They have some talent in between those guys. It's a really good group.
Corners are okay. Yeah, I think this defense, I don't think it's going to be this level going forward, but I wouldn't be surprised this is a top 10 defense.
I mean, the offense is atrocious, and they're 3-1.
Yeah.
And again, I understand the level of competition, but I'm a big, Bill Parcells guy, which is like, you are what your record is. It's the NFL. Every game is hard.
Should be 4-0.
Honestly, they should have beaten the Bengals. They absolutely should be 4-0. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. But, yeah, the Swaguars. Saxonville is back, baby.
Chris Godwin, as we move to the wide receivers, he's got the Seahawks, as we mentioned during the Bucky Irving conversation. Only 5.6 fantasy points in his debut last week, Jay, but the usage is there, and it feels like the volume is going to get an uptick in his second game back.
I feel like the two big things are, one, Mike Evans is out, which creates more of an opening. Igbuka's banged up as well. And then two, he just played a ton of snaps. And I think that speaks to the idea, not that they're bringing him back to ease him back along, but more to the idea that they were waiting until he could play this much to actually get him back on the field. So we'll see about his explosion and how good he looks overall. But Chris Godwin, I feel pretty comfortable starting him as a wide receiver too.
Yeah, I'm inside my top 20 this week. I'm keeping it open as well, Jay. I agree with you. 25% target share, 91% route participation. To your point, Connor, the usage was there. Didn't follow with fantasy production, but I think that's coming, right? And more importantly, not a terrible matchup against Seattle, who's allowed the 8th most yards to the slot this season. Which obviously, Godwin was targeted on six of his 14 slot routes against the Eagles. Expect them to try to attack that position a little bit more. So, yeah, Godwin's a top 20 play for me this week. By the way, you know who has Mike Evans in our league? Yeah, me. I did.
Yeah,
it's me.
And you know who has Chris Godwin?
Yeah, you.
Me.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. You're going to destroy me.
You know who has JSN and Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah, of course. The Chubby Leather Daughters are a monster.
Squad.
Yeah, Fantasy Life commenter, also very strong. If you don't beat me by 30 points this week, it's a loss.
Now there's a spread.
Wow. There's
the first spread in fantasy football.
I'm just trying to
Ohio
cover
State versus Minnesota.
I'm just trying to get I'm just trying a moral victory. That's where I'm.
Yeah,
that's
I can
where
tell.
I'm
You're talking yourself into this.
Oh man, I just want a moral victory. Yeah, I mean, for the love of God. You spent $41 on Malik Washington this morning.
I'll tell you who needs a moral victory right now is T. Higgins. It is not pretty out here. And they got the Lions, who are just crushing everybody right now since their Week 1 loss. 4.4 fantasy points per game in Jake Browning's starts, Matthew. That's where we're at with T. Higgins.
It's been bad.
It's been awful.
Brutal.
Can you even
killing my Chase Brown?
I mean, you probably don't have a better option if you drafted T. Higgins as early as you had to. But can you play him? I mean,
it honestly comes down to the options. Who else do you have? I'm at wide receiver 30, so I'm keeping him open just because the potential big play, just because we're on a bye week. So it's hard to a guy that's this talented and a guy that got a 27% target share in Week 4. Now, didn't translate to like a ton of production, but Jake Browning was looking for T. Higgins a decent amount. It's worth noting the Lions have allowed the 4th most yards on deep passes. So T. Higgins, who's gotten at least 1 end zone target in 3 straight games, you're hoping for a score here. Again, wide receiver 30, so he's a shaky wide receiver 3 for me. But depending on your options, I'm reluctantly keeping it open on T. Higgins just because I believe in the talent. And I do think that game has sneaky shootout potential. 49.5 is the over-under. So they're expecting a lot of scoring. Now, it might be all Detroit. It might be 48-0.
Yeah. I wonder what the team totals are in that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are 10.5-point favorites there. So market is predictably expecting a blowout, like a 30-20 type of game. I don't think the Bengals are going to get to 20 in this game. The issue, too, would be that the Lions are going to run the ball at will. Like, the Bengals just aren't going to stop this run game. And so the Bengals probably aren't going to have the ball that much. At the same time, though, still T. Higgins in a throw script, and you drafted T. Higgins pretty early, so you probably just have to roll with him.
DeVonta Smith kind of in the same mold here, Jay. Just one game this season with 10-plus fantasy points. The Eagles didn't get any receiving yards in the second half of last week.
They didn't get any receiving yards any week outside of the Rams in the second half where they're playing from 3 scores down. I don't think the Eagles are particularly good. Figure it out eventually, but right now, like you look at their underlying metrics, like they have no right to be 4-0. I get that they just this clutch team that just pulls out wins, but with DeVonta Smith, very difficult matchup going against Patrick Surtain and friends in Denver. The Eagles, by the way, it's not just me. The Eagles are only 3.5-point favorites at home against Bo Nix, against the Denver team that has been very up and down so far. We just need to see that this Eagles team is going to be able to reliably throw the ball. I think for the most part, DeVonta Smith at best is a flex guy now, and you probably you hopefully have some better options, but yeah, it's pretty amazing that right now we're going into week 5 and DeVonta Smith is one spot ahead of Elikai Omana in your rankings.
Yeah, I'm closing it out on DeVonta Smith. 34 is the exact ranking there. Like on the season, his utilization score is 59. That is too low. Again, we've talked about this a lot, but the utilization score, it's a number that's on FantasyLife.com, proprietary. Dwayne McFarland invented it. That it is a number from 1 to 100 that sort of is predictive based on all sorts of underlying data in terms of future fantasy success. So the fact that his utilization score is just 59, which is out, there are 41 wide receivers with a better score than DeVonta Smith. Yeah, I mean, like, you're playing Denver, 7th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. He has yet to have a game with more than 60 receiving yards. Eagles don't throw at all. I think you're still starting A.J. Brown, but DeVonta Smith, until I see it, I don't know. They want to be run heavy, Philadelphia does, and they're 4-0. It hasn't always looked pretty. They've had to make a massive comeback against the Rams, but still, like Eagles don't need to be in massive game script. And I don't see the Denver offense suddenly putting up a ton of points where Philadelphia would have to suddenly go to a big throw script here, because that's the problem, is their defense is so elite.
Our last one, guys, Juwan Johnson. He's got the Giants coming off a season low last week in week 4, 5.8 fantasy points. But Matthew, with bye weeks, the state of the tight end position, you probably roll with Juwan Johnson another week, right?
Keeping it open, I'm as a top 10 tight end this week. Look, at least a 19.5% target share in 3 or 4 games this season, and you love the matchup with the Giants, as New York is giving up the 3rd most tight end targets. It's an area of the field that you can sort of target against the Giants. So, yeah, Ratty Ice has been looking for Juwan Johnson. A letdown last week, but I'm back in it, especially given sort of the state of the tight end position. No Kyle Pitts, no Tucker Kraft this week as well. No Jonnu Smith.
Saints favored this week.
Look at that.
Enjoy it, Saints fans, because you're not going to be favored again this year. Maybe home Panthers. They could be.
Yeah.
They could be favored.
They play the Jets.
In New York.
I think it's in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's odd to me. Then, if you're telling me that the Saints basically have maybe 2 games the rest of the year where they'll be favored.
Yeah.
I have a friend that put a large amount of money on them to make the playoffs.
It's peculiar.
Why would that friend? I don't want to out him publicly. My buddy. I mean, he's from another country.
Yes.
So maybe he doesn't understand our
American
ways.
Football?
Yeah, American football.
Producer Pete from Greece.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing, right, Matt? So, week 1, Juwan Johnson, your man, completely screwed me with his drop touchdown in the end zone that would tie the game. The next week they played the Niners. They didn't fix the turf in New Orleans, so man, Spencer Rattler slips when he's going for the game-winning touchdown. Should have beaten the Bills.
Sound like him right
got
now.
Screwed on the end zone thing. Week 3 they lost by 1 million points to the Seahawks. I'll give them that one.
but they should be 3-1.
No, they should probably be 1-3. They should be 1-3, about to beat the Giants to go 2-3, and then all of a sudden, instead
they're back in the mix.
Yeah, instead they're old.
Yeah, look out, Bucks.
Yeah, they're done. Hey, the Bucks aren't great either.
To recap, keep it. I like that Jay hates all the good teams. Eagles 4-0 stinks.
I'm a Colts
Bucks
man.
stinks.
Yeah, he only puts his money on the bet.
Keep it open or close it out. Recap: Daniel Jones is QB9. That's an open, as is Derrick Henry at RB19. Trey Benson stays open as well. You got to like the matchup. Keep an eye on his knee injury, though. We'll follow that throughout the week. Isiah Pacheco at RB34. That's a close. The Chiefs' backfield right now is probably not giving you many solutions. Chris Godwin, top 20 play, stays open against the Seahawks. T. Higgins, wide receiver 30, the most fringe open possible. You probably just don't have a better option. If you do, good for you. DeVonta Smith is a close at wide receiver 34. It's a bad matchup, and the Eagles are not throwing the ball well right now. Juwan Johnson with the tight end bye weeks. You hope for a bounce back. It's a good matchup against the Giants. He's open at tight end 9. We're taking our first break.
Hang on, no. Breaking news. We got breaking news into the fantasy football.
I need a producer to tell me about this.
That's right. Mike Garafalo of NFL Network tweeting out, Dan Quinn says Jayden Daniels got the clearance needed from docs and will be a full go for the Commanders in practice today. So there you go, a full go for the Commanders and for live at noon on the Tube against
look out.
Fantasy Life commenter. I got a shot at covering this spread, this 30-point spread.
The 30 points I gave you.
That's all I want. I just need to cover.
You better win that game, Matthew.
Oh, we're dead.
No, if you lose, I'm saying the Commanders.
Oh, yeah. So the
you go 2 and 3 on the road to Justin Herbert.
No, that's I mean, by the way, we're on the road to Justin Herbert. We need to win that game. It's a big game for us. Yeah. The That's why it's like the Falcons. Like they shouldn't have. Yeah. They shouldn't have dicked around. You heard me. Against the Falcons, which they did. They did. And anyway, just the defense was brutal. Yeah, it's awful.
All right, let's take our first break.
You think NBC is happy that they came to an agreement with YouTube so that this show could continue to exist?
There's backup producer Pete reading a book on the sideline just like A.J. Brown.
Yeah, whenever I have to produce.
Unbelievable. Pete's giving himself shout-outs.
Yeah.
On the show.
Well, when you have when you have the steering wheel,
hey, everyone, here are these cool jokes I've been making.
Online instead of producing the show.
Tweeting memes while producing the show. That's why I don't have a countdown.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this.
Exactly.
I won't know that we're back, but we'll be back.
It's a pretty good tweet.
Get personalized fantasy football insights based on your league settings with Fantasy Life Plus, your league is unique. Your advice should be too. Head to fantasylife.com and use code ROTO20 for 20% off.
Or you can use, to be very clear, you can use promo code J20, Connor20, Matthew20 at fantasylife.com and get 20% off. So, all right, so we have all sorts of tools you see, like fantasy, guillotine, best ball, dynasty. Oh, let's go to utilization. And now we go to our utilization tool, which is incredibly impressive. Let's say, hey, like I want to know what I'm doing with the Chargers wide receiver room. So I go there, I go down. Oh, okay, let me pick the Chargers. Here's just the Chargers, right? And so you see it there, like, and we've got, we have targets, end zone targets, third and fourth down targets, air yards, like all sorts of the underlying stats you need. So I picked Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnson. Oh, look at QJ. QJ has a utilization score in the 80s, and look at his average depth of target. Look at his PPR rank. Look at his target share. Look at his end zone targets, his air yards, like his catchable targets, like every stat you need to know to compare each one of these players as well. A wealth of information, all at your fingertips, all part of Fantasy Life Plus. Go to fantasylife.com and use promo code ROTO20 or J20, Connor20, Matthew20. It is a competition. Please vote for me. All right, there you go.
Very nice.
But seriously, it will.
You got to win something
this year. It is an unbelievable tool. I went 23-7 last week. That's what sucks. It's just this league, I can't figure it out. My team sucks in this league. It is what it is.
You mailed it in.
Yeah. I did. I'm the backup producer Pete of our league.
Super Bowl hangover. But the problem is he's in the league.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I can't verify any of the 23-6, but I can verify the 0-1. So I don't know about all the other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for everyone's favorite new segment, Matthew.
Yes.
This is the time they let you take the wheel.
They let me take the wheel.
Wild move. Only Pete would be dangerous enough to think that's a good idea.
This is Pete's way of saying, like, oh, you think I phoned in the first segment.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Give Matthew a segment.
Right. So this is blind date. We're going to reveal the stats of some players. People go to the bar. They sometimes often have blind dates in bars. This is where, honestly, Jay and I met for our first romantic encounter. Was on a blind date at a bar. So I'm going to reveal a player to you right now. Let's go ahead, Pete. Let's bring up the graphic. Here it is. This is somebody who is second in the NFL in snap rate, fifth in target share, sixth in utilization, but has just 20. He's just 25th in terms of inside the 5-yard rush attempts. This is a running back, obviously, as well. In middle of the pack, and kind of an RB2, if you will, in terms of fantasy points per game, he's 15.7. We interested in this guy? Do we like the production, the snap rate and the
snap
target
rate's
share?
amazing.
But he's just not getting the work in close.
Right. The utilization score being 89. Definitely interested in this player.
Yeah.
It feels like somebody that is off to an odd, slow start and will have high projections the rest of the year. But I'm not positive who it is. Like, the thing that has me not saying Saquon Barkley is you would think Saquon has more inside the 5-yard line rushing attempts.
I think so. Plays a ton of snaps, gets a pretty good target share, but is getting vultured at the goal line. I think it has to be someone with a quarterback who is
very true
pushing. So James Cook or Saquon Barkley, but James Cook is averaging more than 15 points.
Right,
so
and we had him last week, which is why I ruled him out right away.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say Saquon, but
I would say Saquon.
You guys are right. It is Saquon Barkley. Nice job, guys, here with Saquon Barkley. The concern on Saquon Barkley here is, like, again, it just sort of, like, right, he's getting vultured. Like, and it's decent. The utilization score is there, but he's just not being particularly efficient.
Yep.
They're not, and he's getting vultured a lot at the goal line. He's also not breaking off those big runs the way he used to be.
It doesn't break off anything. There's no big runs at all through 4 weeks. The O-line doesn't seem quite as good as it was last year. It's been a little bit of turnover. And Saquon had almost 500 touches last year. You would expect him to not be quite as explosive. Now he's closer to 30.
It's also one of the most basic, boring run games in all of football. I wonder if they start to vary it up to get him going a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know that he's a buy low, but I also don't know that he's a sell either. I think you just sort of have to hang on and hope that the Eagles' offense just gets better and he gets more efficient. But it's just incredibly annoying that he's getting this massive usage, but not when they get in close. You knew Hurts was going to vulture some, but he's got to be better than 25th.
They gave him the fake tush push tutty.
Yeah, there was that.
Some signs.
There was that. All right, let's go to another guy here. So you like that inside the 5-yard line rush attempt share. Well, this guy is one of the best in the NFL. He's tied for first. And he's top 12 in utilization score, but top 12 in target share. They're not using him in the third down stuff. The 2-minute drill snap rate, just 34th in the NFL, 46%. Are we interested in this guy? He's kind of a mid-tier flex.
I think I know
points.
this one because I have this player in literally 80% of leagues. Judging by all the usage, literally so much usage, and underperforming on the actual score, and this player's always right around 23rd, it has to be DeAndre Swift.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I was going to say the Chubb LaTuba Hubbard, but DeAndre Swift it is.
DeAndre Swift it is. Well, John Connor,
way too many leagues.
Connor is 2 for 2. Nice job there as well. You know, I mean, like, I'm just hesitant on him, right? Just because he sucks.
You think they want more? Like they got to look at someone else at some point.
You know, you and I both love Kamanange. You know, Manange. Manangai. I'll get it right.
There was a time in August where you had it.
Yeah, Manangai.
Why do you pronounce it like he's the star of True Detective season 1?
Yeah,
some Kyle McConaughey stuff.
Manangai. Either way, they either trade for somebody. You know, or they go to somebody else because Swift is just brutal.
I mean,
the usage is unbelievable, but nothing else about this says like, you feel like
it's crazy.
Let's get Brace all over there.
I mean, I do think there's a good chance Brees is traded.
Yeah,
you think the Chiefs, the Bears?
Okay.
Yeah, it does feel like the Chiefs.
Let's go to another guy here. Okay, so you see right here, this guy is not playing a ton of snaps. Like he's 18th in snap rate. Target share, he's not involved in the passing game at all. He's outside the top 40 in target share. 71st, again, like they're not using him on long down and distance snaps as well. 71 utilization score, which is like barely top 20, but he's 10th in fantasy points. This is somebody that has just been really, really good in terms of his production.
Yeah.
In limited time.
With low usage.
It is someone who has to be dependent either on touchdowns or on breaking long runs. I think I was talking about who I think it is yesterday that he just is strangely not getting any third down passing work, and that's Travis Etienne.
I will say this is David Montgomery.
Travis Etienne is the correct call. Well done there, Jay. Yeah, I mean, he's so touchdown dependent. Like, it's been, kind of propped up by touchdowns, but I think Etienne is a sell high. He's not involved in the passing game. He's not even getting a full workload here. Bashal Tutin looks like the real deal. Yeah. We don't love this offense. I don't know that the offense is suddenly going to be in scoring position all the time. Yep. And so Etienne, who, again, just, he's broken off a couple of long runs, and that's part of his package. He does have this explosive playmaking ability, but I think Etienne is kind of a sell high here, Connor.
Yeah, I think that, he's averaging over 6 yards per carry, I believe. Yeah. But you always just worry about him breaking down. Yep. The problem is you might have got him at such a value that you're kind of riding the wave right now and just praying that it could stick. I would be very curious what you can get for him because based off name recognition, it feels like not much. But maybe people look at the stats and go, I need an RB1 right now.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I did a draft last night. So I did a Guillotine League draft last night. And it's sort of like you go through it and you're just like, oh, that guy sucks. Chase Brown, Derrick Henry. It's just, there's not a lot, you know what I mean? Like,
that's some bad news, guys.
Yeah.
Trey Benson is being placed on IR.
Okay. All right. There you go.
The DeMarcado time.
When I said earlier in the show that I would keep it open, I'm changing that. We're going to close it out on Trey Benson. We're not going to start him this week. We as we talked about during that segment, like, hey, he got a little bit banged up. And Amari DiMarcado is out there. He's going to be the guy. Here's the tweet from Adam Schefter. Another running back whose status for Sunday is now in question. Cardinals running back Trey Benson. Near the end of last Thursday's game versus the Seahawks, Benson banged his knee. It's not thought to be serious, but his status for Sunday now is in question. So that tweet must have been from a little while ago because it's now officially been placed on IR.
Yes, he is. Schefter's updated
serious.
it. He's going to miss at least 4 games. They expect him to be back at some point this season. That's all we got right now. So.
All right, so it's Amari DiMarcado, but who isn't like, he's a smaller back.
He's their pass catching back.
He's their pass catching back.
So do they elevate somebody else to the Connor Benson, now whoever else role?
Yeah, I don't think they have anyone great there. They have Michael Carter still there? Is that former Jet great?
Who's also very tiny and should only be catching passes.
I'm just trying to think who else they have on the depth. I'm being honest with you. I blanked on who else they have, like who's their fourth string.
Both ex-Jets legends, Michael Carter and Bam Knight.
Oh, Bam Knight.
Wow.
It would probably
Adebayo's brother.
Yes.
Yes, that's how it works. When you Bam. My goodness. I have nothing. That was very good. I froze.
I don't.
Oh dear, it's bad.
Listen, they're at home against Tennessee. So DiMarcado actually is kind of an interesting streamer if you are desperate. Like, I do think like, again, they're home favorites, and he's a smaller guy, but maybe they get away with it for a game, the way the Steelers did with Gainwell last week. But they'll elevate Bam Knight or
Michael Carter.
Yeah, or Michael Carter. They'll probably elevate all of them, right? Because they're going to need some depth. And we'll see who else is out there. Do they trade for somebody?
It's really like Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott or something that's going to be on the Cardinals.
It's somebody like that. Yeah, it's going to be.
It's not great.
It's going to be somebody that's just, like.
It's time, Kyler Murray. It's time to start running. It's like just run for 75 yards a game. It's time.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that's anyway. Ugh. All right.
Back to blind date.
Okay, back to blind date. Back to blind date. But anyway, get better soon, Trey Benson. That's a tough break there as well. Maybe the Chubbler. Maybe they go to the original Chubbler. Hey, Houston, what can we give you for
the OG Chubb?
Yeah, for the Nick Chubb. All right, so this is a wide receiver who has a really high target share, 29%, tied for sixth highest. But just he's struggled from his quarterback. His catchable target rate is just 66%. That's 110th in the NFL.
Is that bad?
And it's all a bunch of short yardage stuff, right? His average depth of target is tied for 108th. He's got a 78 utilization score. So he's a guy that's out there quite a bit. But he's not running anything deep. But they are throwing to him quite a bit.
So Jamar Chase.
I was just going to say, I think it's Jamar Chase because of the average points per game and the target share.
And the fact that his quarterback isn't actually throwing the ball at him.
So I know the answers. I would have actually guessed. Yeah, I would have guessed Wan'Dale Robinson, but it's Chris Olave, who who's just become a PPR scam artist. It's weird, but
very bizarre.
Rattler is.
We got to get him out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
Olave. Someone else come get him.
Right, but he got the touchdown last week, but so the usage is there, but just hasn't turned into fantasy production, except for the fact that he's getting a lot of catches. He's kind of a Wan'Dale Robinson, except for the fact we know Chris Olave is actually good.
Yeah, that's disappointing about the cut. It turns out my man Spencer Rattler's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
I thought Rattler was playing okay. But he's just like, I guess it's such a low bar that was set for him. He's playing like a solid backup quarterback in the NFL, but Chris Olave deserves more.
He does. But I actually think Olave is actually somebody that potentially is a little bit of a buy low, just because we know he's talented, we know he's healthy. He's obviously the focal point of this passing offense, and that if Rattler's either going to get better or get replaced.
Right, Tyler Shuck time.
If they lose to the Giants and they're 0-5, then I think it's Shuck Daddy.
Who will throw the ball down the clock? He's got a big
Shuck
arm.
it down.
The Shuckler.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Shuck you. Oh, yeah, there's so many things we can do with the
Shucky
Tyler
the
Shuck.
Shucky the doll?
Yeah.
From, Tyler Shuck holding a knife.
Yeah,
it's crazy how bad all of
Shucky
these
the
are.
dog. Yeah.
Let's take one more break. When we're back to the futures.
Bucket Shuck.
Our favorite awards and futures bets right after this. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the Sportsbook app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Crown is yours.
Crown is yours. Back to the futures. Jay, looking over in the NFC maybe?
Yeah, a little look at the NFC. I go north to Michigan. The Detroit Lions plus 425 to win the NFC. Kenny is very excited about that, managing the show today. I think the Detroit Lions are the best team in football. I think they're the most complete team. A little worried about Buffalo's defense. A little worried about the Packers' defense after what they showed against the Cowboys. A little worried about the Eagles' everything at the moment. I think that the Lions, I'm not so worried about their coordinator turnover. Seems like they've gotten through that. I thought their performance against Baltimore in particular was extremely impressive. So give me the Lions to win the NFC.
Yeah, they look back on track. It's wild. This segment a couple of weeks ago, I think after week 1, I had them over 9.5 wins. Yeah. Now it's probably 11.5.
Yeah.
So the Lions have they've fully gotten back on track. I'm thinking the same thing as you, but going with the Rams. The Rams plus 600 to win the NFC. Puka has never looked better right now.
He's the best wide receiver in football.
He's the best wide receiver in football. This offense can play in so many different ways. I love their defensive line. I feel really good about them on Thursday Night Football with a shorthanded Niners team. I think the Rams have a good shot. I like this number to win the NFC. Plus 600 is good value.
I think they have a better quarterback than Philadelphia or Detroit, which will matter in January.
And potentially a better coach, for sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Sean McDermott to win Coach of the Year, Jay, as we talked about, plus 1,400 for a guy that's undefeated so far. Shane Steichen, I get it. It's a great story, but there's a chance, as you talked about, the schedule is so easy for the Bills. Like, there's a scenario where they go undefeated this season, or 15-2. Like, they just have an unbelievable. Sean McDermott has never won Coach of the Year, and so if the Bills take another step, again, it's a regular season award. It's not, based on what happens in the playoffs. So, give me Sean McDermott at plus 1,400. I like that price to win Coach of the Year as the Bills keep it rolling.
Yep. By the way, Josh Allen is, I believe he's even money to win MVP at this point.
Right.
I think he's plus 100. So,
do you think that hurts the Coach of the Year candidate because they're just they give all the credit to Allen?
I think it sets a higher bar, but if you go 16-1, then you'd be in the mix, and they could do that against the schedule. Like, where are the losses coming? They're 7.5-point favorites against the Patriots, at the Falcons, at Panthers, home Chiefs. That'll probably be the most difficult game. Dolphins, Bucks, Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Browns. Eagles week 17, that will be an epic game, and then the Jets in week 18.
Eagles in week 17, at the Browns in week 16, like in December, cold weather game, you could see that. Week 12 at the Texans on a short week. You could see maybe that could be a trap game.
They'll probably lose a game at some point.
But my point is, it's like 16-1, 15-2. Like, they've got a real chance at that. So, yeah, Sean McDermott plus 1,400 to win Coach of the Year.
I think Josh Allen's never looked better as well.
I agree.
In total control.
Could their win total move to 14.5?
I think it should.
Yeah, it's been 13.5 for a while. That's wild.
All right.
And fair.
Yeah.
Yes. That music means it's closing time. You do not have to go home, my friends. But unfortunately, you can't stay here. We're back tomorrow. For Jay, for Connor, it's me, the whiny baby oil crybaby Matthew. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.